Hi, I'm Sharon Parish from my village, and today we're going to talk about how what we say is often not at all what our children hear. So, I'm going to start with a little story to illustrate the point. When my son was 8 years old, we took him skiing for the first time. It was also his younger sister's first time skiing. She was 5, and my husband and his older sister had only been one other time. So, there was really a lot of pressure on this situation for me as a parent. I not only wanted to keep my kids safe, but I wanted them to have a good time. Well, my husband started with my son thinking that he was a little bit older and he would have an easier time with him. And they were on the bunny slopes and they really just weren't getting anywhere. So we decided to switch and I was going to take my son skiing. And it was kind of frustrating because when he fell down, he felt very defeated. And I tried to encourage him and tried to help him up and tried to do different things, but he just kind of really pouted. And I became frustrated as a parent. And I'll admit this really wasn't the best parenting moment on my part. But he became frustrated. And I remember just looking at him and I was like, oh, son, I think we need a break. You are really becoming a party pooper. And he got really angry at that. And I remember just going, I don't know. So we decided we would go inside and we would have a cup of hot chocolate. And he kind of warmed up with a cup of hot chocolate and we talked about it. And I talked about how skiing is kind of tricky, but it's really, really fun. And I wanted him to do this because I wanted to share it with him and I loved him and, all these things. And we went out and he started skiing again and he did much better. But the real lesson came that night when I tucked him in for bed. And I tucked him in and I said, I love you, son. I love you more than anything. And thank you for honoring me and going skiing with me today because I just wanted to share this fun thing with you. And I started to walk out the room and he said, Mom? And I said, yes. And he's like, I know you love me even though you told me you didn't today. And I just stood there like, when did I tell you I didn't love you? I would never, ever tell you I did love you. And so I went over and sat by his bed and I asked him, when did you think I said that? Because mommy loves you always, no matter what. And he said, well, you called me a party pooper and that meant you didn't love me and you didn't want to be with me. So we talked about it. We talked about how me saying that had nothing to do with my love for him. And that was something mommy said in frustration because I had this grand expectation of what our day was going to be. And while it was unrealistic, our day wasn't that way. And that I would never say I didn't love him or didn't want to be with him, even when I was frustrated by his behavior. But the reason I share this with you is because I have caught myself several times with my children and realized that what I say is different than what they hear. And we are different people and we perceive things very different. And our children don't understand all the nuances of our speech. Sometimes you can speak harshly. Sometimes you can say something that is intended to be one way and they hear it differently because of your tone or because they don't understand all the words you say. So when your child is grumpy about something and it doesn't ring true with you, talk to them. Ask them what's going on. My son had the courage to come to me because we had lots and lots and lots and lots of talks before about I love you no matter what. And so he knew in his heart that what he heard wasn't true. But imagine if I hadn't told him 10 other times that day that I loved him. Imagine if we hadn't had talks about I will love you no matter what. Would if he ever come to me with that? Would if he sat on those feelings that mom doesn't love me when I don't do a task well or when I'm grumpy or frustrated? Because the thought of it, honestly now, and it's years and years later, makes me want to cry. So tell your children you love them. Tell them that you love them no matter what. One of our favorite games to play is Even If. And we started this when they were very, very young. And even now, they want to play it with me. And it's, I love you unconditionally. And I love you even if. And then we come up with some crazy, crazy story. Like, even if I murdered 10 people, even if I didn't follow the rules and drove drunk, even if, one of my children said, even if I threw up in your mouth. And it made me laugh because I was like, I remember that when you were an infant, you actually did. I was going like this, and I was laughing, and you were laughing, and then blah. It was really gross. But yes, even if you did that, I may not always like your actions, but I'll always support you, and I'll always love you no matter what. So those are good lessons to talk to our children about. And, again, communication, understanding. If our children are grumpy, figure out why they're grumpy. Don't just ignore it. Don't assume it's nothing. If they're grumpy because they want attention, then why do they need attention? Give it to them. We all have needs, and it's our job as parents to try our very best to meet our children's needs. So that was just one small story from my past. I hope it sparked something in you and helped you think a little bit different about communicating with your children. If you like this video, please subscribe, please like, and as always, I come back every Tuesday with more gentle parenting tips. Thanks. Bye.